Hello and welcome. It's a beautiful Sunday and state championships, it's the time for them, right? So we've already had our soccer and cross country. Today, we're here for the ProView bracket breakdown of the volleyball seeding and selection. So volleyball, we are going to find out the brackets today. We're going to find out who plays at what time. All the state championships are going to be coming up this week. We're going to be seeing them on the NFHS network. We're going to have every single game available to watch, including the championships on Saturday, when we'll find out who get to lift those 5 blue trophies in volleyball. We're going to go ahead and take a look real quick at the seeding and selection criteria, as that is one of the most important parts of everything. Well, we've gone to black. We'll have those up for you in just a second. As you know, a lot of teams always wonder this, no matter how many times they're reminded every year exactly what are the rules, how is everything decided, is there somebody who's just picking what team goes where? That's not how the brackets are done. The seeding and selection is built as an algorithm that will set the teams based on a list of criteria, which are so we'll go ahead and start before we get them up on screen for you. So overall record is, of course, the number one and the first most important one. So overall record means whoever has the best one overall, so that's the third. The finish in the regular season district play is an important one. So if, for example, we're talking about District 1, or sorry, 1A, District 6, Logan are sitting 6-0, while Fort Sumner House are sitting 4-2 in that district. So Logan wins the district. Automatically, they will always be a higher seed than Fort Sumner. So let's say that Fort Sumner had a better overall record. The finish in regular season district play for Logan getting that 6-0 would put them higher as a seed than Fort Sumner in that case. Then the head-to-head, which again, this is one of those where you tie break for two teams that have similar records. So if one team's beaten the other team twice in the season or just once in the season, that's going to help them out. Overall record, we've already talked about. The Max Preps rankings, which is one that everybody's always wondering. You can find those on maxpreps.com. They are updated today, so you can find those rankings at maxpreps.com. And then the last one is the coaches poll, the member school input. So those ones, well, we've seen throughout the season, preliminary ones. The final one has not been released. That one's released to NMAA, and that one determines what we have. So those are the seeding and selection criterias. We are going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, we will start bringing you the brackets for the 2024 season.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time, into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time, into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time, into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time, into nothing at all.
All right, welcome back to the Southwest Style ProView bracket breakdown for volleyball, as we do have one bracket that's still missing its final selection because there's a game going to be played on Monday. But we'll get to that once we get to that. First, let's take a look at the bracket for 1A volleyball. So don't quite have that all on the screen for you, but the number 1 seed for this one is going to be the Logan Longhorns. So the grand question in 1A was always going to be who was going to be the top of that one between Logan and Gateway Christian. And so it is decided here that it is the Logan Longhorns. So the number 2 seed are Gateway Christian. Gateway Christian last season making it to the state championships against Melrose. Gateway Christian beating Melrose a couple of times, which is why Melrose drops to that 4 spot. Okay, Motto is your number 3 seed. We're working to get that one fixed for you on there. So then on the rest of it, so we've got your 1, 2, 3 is K-Motto, 4 is Melrose, number 5 is Elida. They'll be playing against the number 12 seed Hondo Valley. Grady and Pine Hill, that's your 8 and 9 seed matchup. That'll be played at 10 a.m. over at Cleveland High School. Then Roy Mascaro and Springer and Fort Sumner House. I mentioned they were the runners-up to Logan in that District 6. So Fort Sumner House and New Mexico School for the Deaf. New Mexico School for the Deaf came out as district winners this season. In 1A's District 7. So we will go ahead and drop that one and take a look real quick at the qualifiers for 2A. And so this is the grand question here. So there's a game that is yet to be played by 2 of the teams you're seeing up on your screen in Raton and Santa Rosa. So that game is to be played on Monday. And so until we find out the results of that one in the 2A bracket, we won't actually find out who is in what seed. Of course, there's a big logjam at the top there in 2A. A lot of teams sitting in the top rankings there. So 2A, you've got Legacy Academy, who's 19-2. You've got Texaco's 20-3, Mesilla Valley, who's 20-3. So all of those teams vying for that top spot. We'll get the final bracket out on Monday once that volleyball game has been played. Now on to, now we've got it full screen. But so these are all the teams that have qualified. So we've got Cloudcroft, Laguna Acoma, Legacy Academy, who I mentioned, Legacy coming in 19-2. Lordsburg. We've also got McCurdy, Mesilla Valley, Cuesta, Raton, and Santa Rosa, who are going to be playing. So Raton sitting 14-7 right now. Santa Rosa sitting 9-13. They could improve their stock, or Raton could continue to improve theirs. As we take a look now at the 3 seed. And by the way, the reason why that game is so important is that Raton and Santa Rosa, one of them is going to finish in second in that district. Both of them 6-3 right now. That one would give somebody the advantage. So 3A, no surprise at the very top of the 3A bracket. It's the team that has dominated in New Mexico's 3A over the last few years. St. Michael's have finished as the winners in the last 2, and then they were the runner-ups back in 2021. They are your number 1 seed, and in their same district with them, West Las Vegas, the Dons right there. Oh, let's go back to that 3A bracket. We didn't get quite through it. So, and then the number 3 seed, Cobre, relative newcomer, Cottonwood Classical. They just made it to the state championship in girls A3A soccer, and now they've gotten themselves a 4 seed in the 3A volleyball. Your matchups to determine who play against the teams with the bye, the 8-9 seed, Tohatchi and Sandia Prep. Robertson gets the 5 seed, so that district continuing to be dominant in the state. Robertson the 5 with Thoreau, the 12 seed. Ruidoso, the 6 seed, plays the 11 seed Hot Springs, and Santa Fe Indian School play against Dexter in the match to see who plays the Dons. Now we can take a look at 4A volleyball. So 4A volleyball, again, we've got The defending state champions at the top of that one, St. Pius, who've been in the last 2 state championships, get that number 1 seed. Once again, St. Pius have been excellent in the last few years of 4A volleyball in the Land of Enchantment. They get the number 1 seed, and the team that they beat in the state championship last year, the Albuquerque Academy Chargers, getting the number 2 seed in that one. St. Pius 20-3 over the season. Silver, who get the 4 seed, were also 20-3. And then Albuquerque Academy 16-7. Santa Teresa, the Desert Warriors, get the number 3 seed with an 18-4 record. Valley will play Goddard to play against St. Pius. That's your 8-9. The Hope Christian Huskies get the 5 seed to play against Silver. But first they'd have to beat Taos. Portales and Gallup, the 6-11 matchup to play against Santa Teresa, the number 3 seed. And then the Valencia Jaguars and the Artesia Bulldogs, who are only a few years removed from a state championship appearance themselves, play for the opportunity to play against the Albuquerque Academy Chargers. On to the 5A volleyball bracket. So the undefeated Las Cruces Bulldogs, the defending state champions. I mean, you just look down the list and it's almost all defending state champions taking the number 1 seed. And no surprise with Las Cruces, an undefeated season thus far, 23-0, get that number 1 seed. And then a very good, very tall attacking team in Cleveland are your number 2 seeds. The class of 5A over the last 5, 6, 7 years, La Cueva come in as the 3 seed with a 20-3 record. And then your 4 seed, the Los Alamos Tigers, who have been a rising power in 5A since they've moved up into the classification. They are your number 4 seed. The Centennial Hawks and the Albuquerque High Bulldogs play with a chance to play against the Las Cruces Bulldogs. Roswell gets the 5 seed. They will be playing against Sandia for a chance to play against the Tigers. Santa Fe Demons get the 6 seed. They'll play Volcano Vista, who come in as the 11 seed. Winner of that one takes on La Cueva. And then the Cibola Cougars made it to the finals last season. The 7th seed, they'll be playing their district rivals, the Rio Rancho Rams, and that's all just a 5A District 1 side of the bracket because the winner of that one plays against the Cleveland Storm. And if Volcano were to advance, you've got pretty much that entire district right there. So that is your 5A volleyball bracket. Now, so we'll go ahead and just talk a little bit about the schedule of events for NMAA coming up this weekend. So all of the state championships will be beginning later on this week. So for the state championships, they will begin on Thursday, and the sites will be Cleveland High School, Rio Rancho High School, and then the Rio Rancho Event Center. All of it taking place in Rio Rancho as it has done for the last few years. So the schedule is available up on the NMAA website. But so Thursday games begin at 8 a.m. at the Rio Rancho Event Center, at Rio Rancho High School, and at Cleveland. They've even got some games at Bernalillo High School this year. Friday we will have games all day as well. You can find all of them on the NFHS network that are at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Rio Rancho High School will have 2 courts there, and Cleveland will have 1, Bernalillo will have 1. And then on Saturday, that's when the semifinals start getting played, right? So we will have those matches for 3A, 2A, 1A, 4A, 5A. All of them will be played at the Rio Rancho Event Center starting at 8 o'clock in the morning sharp. 4 courts at the Rio Rancho Event Center. They will play those semifinals up until 2 o'clock, and then that's when your championship starts. So your first round of championships are going to be at 4 p.m. There will be 3 courts for that. The 3A, 2A, and 1A championships will be played first at 4 o'clock, and then the 4 and 5A are in the 6 o'clock spot. And that's when we'll find out who get all of the blue trophies. And remember, there is a second chance in NMAA volleyball. So losing the first game, you're not taken out of the tournament completely. You move on into the consolation bracket with a chance to move back into the Final Four. Once you're in that Final Four, you have to win. There's no more second chances there. Winners in the semifinals advance to the finals, And then in the finals, whoever wins, that's your state champions. So let's run one more time through those brackets just to see who all is in this one. Actually, we'll take a break real quick, and then we'll come back and run back through them one more time before we take off.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore, just like riding a bicycle. I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Welcome back. The Southwest Styles ProView Bracket Breakdown for 2024 Volleyball as it's championship season here, and just want to give a quick shout out to the UNM Lobos. Everyone's a Lobo, and the Lobos taking some wins in both football and basketball this week, so big one there. And then to all the schools that brought home championships this weekend in the first round of weekends, or in the first round of championships, cross country, the Albuquerque Academy sweeping, El Dorado, Rio Rancho, girls El Dorado, boys Rio Rancho, and then McCurdy and Pecos in the lower classifications in soccer. You know, lots of great games. Albuquerque Academy, Hope Christian, La Cueva, Centennial, and then Sandia Prep and New Mexico Military Institute. So congratulations to them. And now let's take a look again at the brackets so that we can find out who is going to be taking home the blue trophies in volleyball. So again, here is 1A, Logan getting that top spot, Gateway Christian getting 2, Quemado 3, and Melrose 4. Grady, Pine Hill, Lida, Hondo Valley, Roy Mascaro, Springer, Fort Sumner House, and New Mexico School for the Deaf all qualifying as well. So they have a chance to get in and play against those top seeds. The 2A bracket still undetermined here because we have to find out who takes second place in the district between Raton and Santa Rosa. That's going to shake up where everybody else will land. But Cloudcroft, say that 10 times fast, Laguna Acoma, Legacy Academy, Lordsburg, McCurdy, Mesilla Valley, Cuesta, Raton, Santa Rosa, Tatum, Texaco, and Tucumcari all will be playing in this coming up weekend. And the A2A games will be played at Rio Rancho, Cleveland, and Bernalillo. So 2A is all at Rio Rancho High School beginning at 10 a.m. on Thursday, 8 a.m. on Friday, and then their semifinals will be played on Saturday at 12 p.m. at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Let's take a look at 3A. So St. Michael's, the defending state champions, going for a three-peat. Get the number 1 spot. The West Las Vegas Dons sitting in that same district with St. Michael's in the 2, Cobre 3, Cottonwood Classical 4, Tohatchi, Sandia Prep, Robertson, Thoreau, Ruidoso, Hot Springs, Santa Fe Indian School, and Dexter all qualifying as well. So the 3A volleyball, they will be playing all of their games at the Rio Rancho Event Center. So their first round will be at 8 a.m. on Thursday. They'll play again at 2 p.m. on Thursday. Next rounds will be 8 a.m. Friday and 2 p.m. on Friday as well. Saturday, their semifinals are going to be played early in the morning, 8 a.m. So if you're a 3A fan, better wake up early and start the coffee pot. Their championships for 3A will be played on Rio Rancho Event Center Court number 1. That's at 4 p.m. on Saturday. We'll have all of those games on the NFHS network. Now let's take a look at the 4A volleyball. St. Pius, the defending champions, and what a good job Jordan Russell has done with that team. Number 1 seed once again, Albuquerque Academy coming in as the number 2 seed. The Desert Warriors of Santa Teresa are number 3. The Silver Colts are your number 4 seed with Valley. Goddard, who won the state championship just a couple of years ago in there. Hope Christian, the Taos Tigers, the Portales Rams, Gallup Bengals, the Valencia Jaguars, and the Artesia Bulldogs all as well in there. So the games for 4A will be played at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Those games will be at 10 a.m. on Thursday, then 4 p.m. on Thursday. Friday, they've got the same slots, 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., so look for those ones when you're a 4A fan. Semifinals for 4A will be played at 8 a.m., or pardon me, the semifinals will actually be at 2 p.m., as some quarterfinal matches will be played at 8 a.m., so the semifinals coming up at 2 p.m. That's at Rio Rancho Event Center on courts 3 and 4. And then the finals for 4A will be in the 6 p.m. slot on Saturday. Now the 5A volleyball. We're going to go ahead and see the Las Cruces Bulldogs, undefeated on the year, rightfully in the number 1 spot. Cleveland Storm getting the 2, La Cueva Bears in the 3. The Los Lunas Tigers, an upstart in 5A volleyball, getting the 4 seed. Centennial, Albuquerque High School, Roswell, Sandia, Santa Fe, Volcano Vista, Cibola, and Rio Rancho, all qualifying along with them in 5A. The games for 5A will begin at 12 p.m. on Thursday at the Rio Rancho Event Center. We'll have 4 games in that slot, 6 p.m., so all afternoon games for them. On Friday, it's the same time slot, so they've scheduled this very well at NMAA, 12 p.m. for 5A games, and then 6 p.m. for 5A games. We'll have the first round of Saturday games at 10 a.m. to determine who makes it into that Final 4. Those are 10 a.m. games, courts 1 and 2, and then at 2 p.m. we get the semifinal games. Those are on courts 1 and 2 as well, and then at 6 p.m. the 5A state championship. All of those games will be available on the NFHS network. All volleyball there. We should also have all of the games for Rio Rancho High School, Cleveland High School, and Bernalillo on the NFHS network as well. Pretty sure on those ones, A and 2A games being played at the Rio Rancho sites, the high school sites. But that's your setup, and that's what this weekend's going to be looking at. It's going to be a very fun weekend of volleyball as more champions are going to be crowned here. The fall season almost over here in the Land of Enchantment, which means we get to see some of the best matches of the year, some of the best play, and you know that players always come in the championships. Well, that's all we've got for you here on the Southwest Styles ProView Network's Bracket Breakdown Show. Remember, catch all of the games on the NFHS network, and we'll see you in the championships.